are going to continue our alternate feature of the world series. And there's probably going to be a lot happening, but we will start with the Chinese Civil War that broke out today. So are you ready to watch this wild mapping video? As the democratic forces of China advance against Imperial China. As their advance is so far pretty well. As they move up the coast. But while this is the Republic of China's push is great. And then we have the fascist China, which makes advances. And unfortunately, China has lost Yunnan, Tibet, Xinjiang, and a lot of territory during the Civil War, which Russia is eyeing areas that just left. So is Japan, believe it or not, who shouldn't be, but you know, with a big chunk of the Empire's China being encircled by the fascists. Well, a lot of these groups right now working together, it doesn't seem good for the future. With some places, people want to be powerful. A lot of people do, actually. The democratic is the only great idea for this. But will it work? Who knows? There will be more democratic insurgents. Who knows? And well, now for one major event of this video, which is Iran going to war with Azerbaijan. No, they don't go to war with Azerbaijan, but that would make sense. But then I realized purple team, that's not going to end well. But maybe Saudi Arabia, which is ready to take on Yemen. They are rebuilding their forces after, well, they have just been destroyed. Along with Iran and many other nations were destroyed a while back. But now they decide after being worn back, they are no longer going to be seen as weak on the world stage as they march their forces into Yemen, which is seen as very wrong by the international community of this world. But Somalia doesn't really care. And so Yemen is reintegrated into Saudi Arabia, which is really not that great. And while the Chinese Civil War is not just happening here, but many other places. And well, this war ended well, but the Civil War, who knows? And many things are happening here. With a big chunk of the Empire of China's forces collapsing to the fascists. And well, it looks good for democracy to rise, maybe not. But it could. I hope the democracy rises, with the communists headed for Beijing, the capital, which they encircled. The Empire forces did escape. They escaped all the way to Shanghai. But as to how long they will last is unknown. With morale collapsing in the north, and the forces just switch sides. Literally switch the point of their weapons. Laser weapons. And I did say laser weapons were developed. And let's see how the space Chinese Civil War is going. Let's go to the moon. And so, well, not much is really happening. Until now, when China declares independence. Independence. And let's go to line so we can get rid of the green. Yeah, I have to do it this way. There's no other way, actually, guys. As Lunar China. Why is it called Lunar China? I don't know. Fine, it's on the moon. And that just makes sense. But Brazil, surprised, as the first nation of space to finally gain independence, gains their independence. Well, Poland's still in an alliance that I don't have represented on the map with the Empire of China, but they're seeing this is not working anymore. So they are starting to realize they're the new leader of it. And then they are wondering what to do in China. Why would they be wondering what to do in China? Because, yeah, they are. As they march in, the communists march in. But democratic China is taking where all the population is. Because, well, there. As they are moving towards Shanghai, which for some reason I'm going to say is about here. I don't know where it is. Oof. And let's say it's here. With them capturing the city and taking the Empire's government, the Empire will to fight just completely collapses and basically becomes a free-for-all. So this area is not really safe. But then some people decide they want the Empire to be re-established. So on top of this comes Imperial forces rising up in the south as a last-ditch attempt. And then, well, there's now more than ever a desire for change. And then a theocratic China rises up, which makes no sense. But yeah, they decide to pick a religion. And what religion do they pick? Who even knows? Fine, guys, they actually pick a religion, but I don't know which one. They pick the religion of Christianity and they call them the Holy Revolution, which they're not really. And well, with 4 factions breaking out, the danger of pushing through these lands is not as dangerous, as it's not big, as this is a no-law anarchist area, basically. This gray area, just to let you guys know. And by no law, I literally mean no law. And let's see, does Mars China declare the Republic of Mars China? Mars China. As suddenly, in a surprise change of events, the Christian China, which is somehow Christian, I don't even know how, even though there's only 100 million of them in China. I believe, something like that, which seems like a lot, which is probably a lot lower now. Maybe they just all came in the alternate future. I don't know. Or maybe they just picked a random religion to follow. Who even knows at this point? With the dead zone of no law falling under many laws. They were pretty democratic, though. And then Imperial China, unlike before, is much smaller. With China in a 5-sided civil war, we'll have to take turns. And let's see what happens in Mars. Oh, Mars. And suddenly, Malawi and Kenya declare independence from the East African Federation too. And Mars declares independence in the Mars China. And Brazil is also in the alliance. See? It shows on the moon, Brazil and Poland are basically in the alliance. And yeah, well, I guess I'll declare them independent. With it being seen that Brazil is now a Polish ally. It's just Poland and Brazil. They call it the Polish-Brazilian Union. And well, it doesn't make much of a difference. And now for the independence, as the people have settled on Mars have decided they are Martians, which literally will mean they are leaving this. Why would they leave this? Because that's their choice. But what? I meant to erase. I guess I'm making a few mistakes, but is that a big deal? No. With Martian China being first Mars area to declare independence. But this is due to a civil war on Earth, which is not looking good as blood is mounting, as millions are already perished, which is really sad. Malawi and Kenya now leave the fragmenting Central African Union, which is not that big, with the religious area somehow taking over land. And somehow 2 AI groups break out. One with the goal of knocking out humanity and the other with the goal of not. As the ones that want to wipe humanity rise up here, which is pretty bad. But the ones who don't and want to live coincide with humanity rise up here. And don't be fooled, they might be the strong ones. With them having an army of 50 million with them having an army of 5 million AI. How did AI get here? Well, I guess humanity made it. With them more wanting democracy, while the other ones want a pretty much fascist state run by AI. But as the democratic AI see what they're doing and all the cruelties, they have no choice but to intervene. And as they are intervening, something else happens, which is not a surprise to anyone. The Republic of China strikes, hearing about these cruelties, which they actually succeed in because they're using human wave tactics, basically. Yep, human wave tactics after seeing how cruel they are. Such a great idea. Human wave tactic is just using humans move. With the religious one, with these AI already turned on, and well, the Republic of China is unable to hold them back, meaning there's going to be a AI human state, which they both will coexist. And chances are, but they're not a bad country, not bad robots, luckily. But, I mean, could they have turned against humanity? Yes, but will they? No. Because humanity made them. And some humans are even turning to this idea of having AIs in charge, as AI in charge are making quality of life better. With the imperial forces that are left being invaded by the Republic of China, who is going now. And then, well, the communists have a turn, and they advance against the fascists and against the emperors. But in a surprise turn of events, the communists meet and discuss possible them exiting, but the communists don't allow, and they do this. And now, what does the fascists do in the Civil War? Well, they move in. And India is seeing all this violence erupting and wondering if they should intervene with the not robots, but the religious theocratic state rising. But as it's not very popular with it, it doesn't really do much. And why am I talking so weird? I don't know. But yeah, with the communists ready for a huge offensive, which they basically wipe out the fascists and that. And, well, they invade the religious one to huge success, as the theocratic leader that was just elected is unpopular, with people living to be like 100 years old. With the fall of the religious state happening. But this AI that wants to coexist with humans has an army of 50% humans, 50% AI. As everything's working as 50% AI, 50% humans. Is how they're trying to make the system, with them taking over the island of Taiwan. It's also democratic, despite the sound of it. Now the communists almost taking back China. This was a big civil war, big heated civil war. With Korea being eyed by Japan as ideal if Japan could take over. With Japan having gained back much of its old territories throughout this series, much can happen. And why would they do this? Because they could. As Korea is the wrong color somehow. Maybe I need to move it back a bit. Right here. Looks perfectly ideal. Yep, that's blue. Not a weird kind of blue. That makes no sense. With this being a big advance for the Japanese, so big that nobody would believe how fast it would take them, as they march their troops into Korea, and then they march in over here, and they move into Seoul. They take the city, and they then take Pyongyang. With it seeming like Manchukuo might intervene, Japan speeds it up, with Manchukuo declaring that this was wrong and declaring war on Japan, which Russia ends up on Japan's side as they decide to partition it 50-50-ish. With this being a big war, as Vladivostok is taken by Japan, and they start marching in over here. And they're trying to take outer Manchukuo, with Russian forces marching right in, guys. And I mean right in. with Russia sending millions of men in. And Japan meets up in outer Manchukuo, with everybody moving to inner Manchukuo. With Japan mostly moving from the south, Russia's mostly moving from the north now, with a bit moving in from the east, but not much. And while the fall of Manchukuo is going to happen soon, with Russia starting to advance faster, Japan starts advancing faster, with the little bit in the east advancing faster, as they're all moving west and east and all over the place, with Manchukuo surrendering, really doing literally nothing to stop this civil war. And they allowed Japan to stay a part of it, even though Japan invaded 2 countries, basically. But they split with Russia. Russia's more close. But Russia makes a territorial claim over these lands, which is not great. With most of the Republic of China just giving up, as they see the robot republic as better and more efficient and happier. As China has been in many civil wars in this video, it's time to make a... As they move towards the capital of the Republic of China, somehow they continue to spearhead so well. But whereas the human forces in this military are barely advancing. Why are the human forces not able to do it as fast as AI? Because AI are trained to do it the most effectively. And they just let humans, because humans just help them push faster. Leads to this, the collapse of Beijing. But the problem is with this robot is that any robot can get into power. But there's one weird system where there's 2 leaders. One robot, one not robot. As the robots vow to reform China strong again, which is popular within the people. As robots are pretty good at leading. With the Polish-Russian tensions rising. With Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, and Uganda declaring independence from the Central African Federation. With Namibia and Botswana declaring independence from... With Botswana and Namibia declaring independence from the South African Federation, collapsing is seen as a shock to this alliance, as 2 nations have completely just collapsed. With Turkey now and India the leaders of this alliance. With Russian forces now declaring a war. With many of Russia disliking Poland, but they're starting to see Poland as a possible ally now. With them declaring war on 2 countries, which turns into a declaration of war on 3. They declared war on Xinjiang and Chechnya, which led to Georgia joining on the side of Chechnya. But they're both on the same team, if that makes any sense. With them marching into Xinjiang like it was nothing. And then they move into Chechnya, north. Before they slow down moving into Chechnya, as they eventually take Grozny, the capital. Chechnya falls, Tbilisi is taken, and areas that are pro-Russian rise up on the side of Russia. And Russia is now establishing itself as a world power. NATO, including Ireland, Scotland, which just formed the Celtic Union and want all the Celtic lands. But that's not going to happen if they join NATO. Not really. With Britain deciding to join the Celtic Union, and Britain being forced to make votes in 2 areas. And the 2 areas of Wales and Cornwall declare they want to join the Celtic Union. Why did I decide I want a Celtic Union? I don't know, but it sounds cool, so who doesn't want one? With Europe being remnants of when it was once unified together. With one more thing has to happen in this video, and then we will be done for today, which is exciting. We always want to see a finale to these videos. Well, yeah. As Conquest is going so well now, Mali decides their empire will expand into the south. And they declare war on all these nations, which unfortunately can't stay. As China is now just left as really much a rump state, pretty much. A tag of its former self. With Mali now starting to make a Mali Empire, even though this is not even where the Mali Empire was. So it's just called Mali Empire, not Second Mali Empire. I don't think. Why do I think Mali? Never mind, I just don't say anything. I don't know why. But maybe it was. Actually, that's where the Mali Empire was. Yep, that is exactly where it was, guy. And yeah, with the fall of all of these states, they all turn and join the Mali Empire. With this treaty being seen as unlawful, wrong, unfair. But Mali is the one with the power. Whoever has the most power does what it wants. Doesn't mean it works. Sometimes it fails. With the Mali Empire wanting to unite all of Africa. With another empire created, which is called the African Union. And their allies are Turkey, South Africa, India, and Azerbaijan. But is this a good alliance? No. And, well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like and subscribe. And let's go through. We're trying to get to 375 subscribers, right, guys? So the best way to do that is by subscribing. And I hope you do. And, well, viewers, yep, there's a lot going on. And to any Christian viewer, have a great Easter. But then let's go to the next thing. So, well, the next thing is we need to get to 375 subscribers by May 1st. So please subscribe, as it is a nice day. Hopefully. I don't know anymore. What is a nice day? Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Watch this video fully to the end, even though this is basically the end. But so I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe. That's all for today's video, pretty much. Wild Mapper out.